These are the Module 15, Part 1 notes. This is the Introduction to Hypothesis Testing. The Module 1 notes, the Part 1 notes are the longest set of notes. After we get through all the intro stuff, the Part 2 notes have 6 pages and the Part 3 notes only have 3 or 4. Here is the culmination of our course. What happens in Unit 3 uses the information from Unit 1 and Unit 2. This is also the information that you need to complete Project 2 successfully, so it's important that this makes sense. Okay? So we are going to talk about hypothesis testing. 4 parts here, and as you go through Project 2, you're going to want to refer to these. First part is to state the claims, and I am going to add in here, we're going to state the research question. And the next couple of pages, we'll talk about how we formulate that research question and also the claims. So we have 2 claims. The first is our null hypothesis. That's our initial claim. That is our status quo. And you'll see this H sub 0, which we read as H naught. Naught being the 0, that is our initial status quo situation. The second claim is our alternative hypothesis, either H sub A or H sub 1. That is kind of what we think the data is going to show us, or what we're checking to see if it's true. Then you choose the sample, collect your data. We want this to be a random sample because we want it to be something that we can use to make inferences about our population. 3, we assess the evidence. We try to decide, or we decide, how strong our evidence seems to be in favor of our alternative hypothesis. Okay. Again, this is a how likely scenario. We will never ever say we can definitely go one way or the other. Then we're going to state our conclusion, which for some is the trickiest part. This is not always intuitive. And so you do really want to stop and think about what you're saying and how you're saying it. We have 3 ways to set up for our hypothesis test. Okay? We are going to test hypotheses primarily for means and proportions. We can do this for standard deviation. We are not going to. Remember, mu is our population mean. Let me stick that up here. P is our population proportion. Sigma would be our population standard deviation. Okay. We are going to test to see how far away a value is from our null hypothesis, basically our stated mean or our status quo proportion. We have 3 different ways our tests can work. So don't worry about the format of the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. We will talk about that on the next couple of pages. We can have a right tail test. Keep in mind, if we're talking about our normal distribution, our right tail is going to be up here at the top right end. We can have a left tail test, where we're looking to see if our values are way below our stated mean or proportion. We can also have a 2-tailed test. Supersymmetric there on the picture, sorry about that. Which means I don't care if it's above or below. I just want to know that it's different than what we think that population proportion is, or our stated proportion or mean.